Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing today? I am finally rested. I was in Nashville up until this weekend at the International Toastmasters Convention. I have to tell you, I was exhausted. We were at the Opryland Convention Center. That place is huge. I feel like I walked, well, I don't just feel like it. I know I walked for like 16,000 steps one day, 14,000 the next. Man, it was pretty interesting. Today, we're talking about something that you, at least some of you who will watch this video, requested. I was in Nashville because I won the 2022 International Video Speech Competition. And I came in first place, and I'm like really thrilled, humbled, and still excited about it. I think it's pretty cool that I was selected. But when people heard about it, they started to ask me, hey, why don't you share something with folks about how you do this? Because this is the second international speaking competition that I've won in 4 months. And so I got some requests to share a little bit about how I do that. I don't know if I really have a formula for winning international contests, but I can share with you my formula for coming up with speech titles, topics, and delivery of those speeches. So in case you don't know, my name is Angela Heath, and I am with TKC Incorporated. And I want to thank you guys for being here with me this evening. We are going to be talking about 3 simple steps to make your talk world class. 3 simple steps to make your talk world class. And no, you don't have to go through a long, drawn out process, even when you're doing a longer speech, because I'm a trainer. So some of the programs that I give are like days long in training, but there are 3 simple steps that I take each and every time, and I want to share those with you. Some of you have asked if I would do a training. I will do a training, but only if more people say that they are interested in it. I have had a couple requests to do a webinar, and I'm willing to do it if you are willing to attend. So I am doing a piece on September 9th. Yes, September 9th, Friday, September 9th. It's a 4.5-hour piece where I will be going through these simple steps as well as some others, and allowing people to practice so that they can have their world-class presentation polished a little bit more. So let's get into the 3 simple steps, because I will not be holding you long. That first step is to have a simple message. Now, I want to show you a little bit of what I said in the speech that won this last competition, so that you can get an understanding of how simple many of my messages are. And then I'll come back and share a little bit more about that. But we'll take a quick look at the speech. So to start with, you need to decide and declare. Decide and declare. Now, when I use that phrase, I mean not just saying it. No. I mean putting some oomph behind it, making it real, getting it inside of yourself. This is something that you want, that you are willing to work toward, and then tell everybody. So when I think about my aspiration to be this well-known Broadway playwright, on that first aspect of the scorecard, I have to give myself an X.
No, I didn't decide and declare. I kept it to myself.
So you can see that's a pretty simple message. Decide and declare what it is you want in your life. And I had 3 steps for how people can actually actualize some of their goals. And you can take a look at the video and get all 3 steps. But I just wanted to show a piece of that the message is simple. And there's a couple reasons for that. It doesn't matter how complex the topic, you can always simplify the message. You want your message to be simple enough that is clear and people can follow the step, but not dumbed down. I don't want you to speak beneath the understanding of your audience, but it's important for you to speak in simple terminology. If you are with a group of experts who understand all of the jargon, use the jargon, but don't complicate matters if you don't know who's actually in your audience. And if there's a possibility that there are some beginners as well as some experts in your audience, simplify the message. And if it's necessary to use jargon, use the jargon, just define it. But we want to make our messages simple so that they are memorable. A simple message is easier to remember than a complicated message. So I said, decide and declare. Several people have come up to me recently, online, of course, and said, decide and declare. There's a couple reasons why. It's a simple message. Both of the words that I use started with D, so that made it even easier to remember. And it is something that they can easily incorporate into their own life if they want to reach their goals. Step number 2, and these are not like in any kind of order, but number 2, embody the message. Embody the message. And what I mean by that is you take that simple message and you get it inside of you. You get it so deep inside of you that it's just like a passion that has to come out. It is like you believe it, you feel it, you live it. Embody the message. Now, there's a couple things that you can do to embody your messages, like, and I use this strategy all the time, practice your speech in front of a mirror. When you practice your speech in front of a mirror and you look into your own eyes, if you do that a few times, you will begin to feel the message. And if you feel the message, your audience is going to feel the message. Another way you can embody your speech is by your rate of speed, by the use of pauses, and how you may get loud at some point, and then you may decide to quiet your voice. All of that is part of embodiment. Because when a message is truly yours, a message is in your heart, everyone can tell it. And so that's one thing you can do because it comes across as sincere, it comes across as authentic. Now, here is the 3rd tip. Smile. 3 simple steps for creating world-class talks. Smile. Now, you may not be as animated as I am, and that's okay. But still, you can smile. Let's take a look at a little bit more of the training and see how much I smile. Now, I smile naturally. I am gifted as a naturally happy person. But when you're giving a speech, not unless it's a very solemn speech, smiling makes a big difference. Let's take a look.
But let me give you an example of someone who did it extremely well. Those of you who love boxing, you can remember, I am the greatest of all times. Muhammad Ali declared this so loudly over and over and over again to himself and to everyone who would listen. He had the media telling us that, and we believed it. But listen to this. Muhammad Ali declared it before he ever won one major fight. Isn't it amazing? The second aspect of the framework is called growth mindset it. Now, a growth mindset means that you feel that if there's a barrier or something blocking your way, that you can figure it out. You can learn more, you can practice more, but you can succeed. This is the way you think. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, believes only certain people are able to accomplish what you want to do, and you're not just that person. So when I grade myself on that, another big X. This is what I told myself. You can't spell very well. You're not good at grammar. You can't be a playwright, really? And then the final aspect.
You see, throughout that entire speech, there were times when I didn't smile, but generally, my smile is something that endears me to the audience, and not just me, anybody that smiles. So smiling is a big deal. You want to smile as you give your presentation because not only does it endear you to your audience, it also makes you look like an expert. You don't look nervous. You don't look tense. And if you look comfortable with your content, then people feel like, hey, they really understand what they're saying. Now I'm going to go to this last point because I want to emphasize this final point. And the second point, I'm sorry, I want to go back and emphasize the second point, the embodiment of the speech. I want to show you what that looked like in the scorecard.
Is visualization. There's not one Olympic gold medalist who did not stand on the podium before they got to the Olympics. In the recesses of their imagination, they stood tall on the podium and they can feel the ribbon going over their head and they could feel the weight of that gold medal around their neck. They actually saw the lights flashing. They heard the crowd roaring, chanting their name over and over and over again. You see, they visualized it. And they really lived it before it actually happened.
Now, that's an example of embodying a speech. You know, I got so much into the speech. I was like living what professional athletes live. They really put a lot of effort. They use all of their five senses to be in that place of championship before they arrive there. And when I was giving the speech, I was embodying a world champion, you know, putting the medal around my neck and feeling the weight. I wasn't just talking about what they were thinking and feeling and doing. I was talking about me too. As I was doing that action, I was feeling it myself. So that's embodiment. And with that, that completes the 3 simple steps. But if you want to know more information, I do have an upcoming program on September 9th. Just go over to the virtualspeakingacademy.com/world-class. And I'm offering an introduction to world-class speaking program where we are going to learn techniques and not just learn them, but actually practice them. And I'm going to keep this to a small group so everyone has opportunity to practice. So if you're interested in improving your public speaking, getting over the fear of being before an audience, whether it's in personal or on the virtual stage, I invite you to join me at the Introduction to World-Class Speaking. Just go over to the site, click on the button. With that, I am going to wish you all a good evening or a good morning if you're seeing this in the morning. This is Angela Heath with TKC Incorporated. World-class speaking in 3 simple steps, and you can learn more by coming over to the virtualspeakingacademy.com/world class. Hope to see you in the upcoming program. Take good care.